If you've been poking around the gallery and checking out Crossing Stars, you've probably noticed something big. Yuno has officially joined the roster, and with her kit information now public, people are already panicking. Why? Because her passive, which amplifies damage dealt by teammates by up to 40% if they can refresh shields, sounds like a death sentence for her full value. After all, outside of Augusta, nobody else can reliably refresh shields, right? But let's pump the brakes because Yuno might be way better than she looks on paper. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? Let's kick things off with the fun part, her playstyle. Yuno is refreshingly simple. Perform 3 basics or use her normal skill and you unlock an enhanced skill that throws her into Half Moon state. In Half Moon, she can spam basics and dodge counters to regenerate 40 Forte stacks, and that's actually huge. Compare her to hybrid units like Shakona who require sweaty jump cancels just to build stacks. Yuno basically says, mash buttons, get power, which is a lot friendlier for most players. What's even better is that she doesn't even have to rely on this method. If you want to use her as a quick buffer who tags in and out, all you need to do is intro skill into her liberation and she instantly gets those 40 stacks. No fuss, no farming stacks mid-combat, no clunky setup. That flexibility means she can either hyper carry herself or act as a clean sub-DPS buffer for stronger carries. Her design allows you to tailor her role depending on what your team needs. Now, when she hits full stacks, she can jump into New Moon state where her moon ring morphs into the moon bow. Here, every basic or skill eats up stacks to dish out serious damage, heal the entire team, and recover more energy for her outro. That's some crazy efficiency. And once her energy is maxed, you just hold basics to pop her full moon domain. Any resonator inside the domain gets their damage amplified by 40%. That's massive, but it comes with a controversial catch. To maximize it, you need to refresh shields. For now, that realistically means Yuno and Augusta are the only ones who can milk this buff to its full extent. This is where a lot of players panic and write her off. But the truth is, Yuno doesn't even need Full Moon Domain to take advantage of the amplification. Her passive already gives her the stack she needs to grab the buff by introing and popping Liberation. That means she can still hand out huge buffs to teammates like Gian, Augusta, or Zani even without constantly refreshing shields. Yes, the buff duration is short, but in practice, it's long enough to matter. With Yuno and Shakona headlining the second half banners, are you sure you have enough asteroids? Fortunately, you can avail of discounted top-ups without having to give away your password. Loot Bar now has a do-it-yourself self-top-up for Wuthering Waves that you can do right on mobile. You can save up to 21% in discounts and even more if you use my link in the description. It's fast, secure, and cheaper than in-game top-ups. Trusted by the community with excellent reviews, top up your Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, HSR, and Zenless Zone Zero with Loot Bar and grab an extra 10% discount through my link in the description. Let's move into her damage potential. Liberation is her bread and butter, is scaling up to a ridiculous 1100% multiplier. And once you stack liberation damage bonuses from echoes and weapons, her damage output spikes even higher. New Moon basic attacks and resonance skills also scale off liberation, meaning her whole kit leans into one damage type that you can easily boost. Put simply, she's designed to hit hard whether she's your carry or just swapping in for a quick nuke. And remember, those attacks also benefit from the 40% amplification. As a hyper carry, she thrives on maintaining Full Moon Domain to keep the buff rolling. As a sub-DPS, she leverages her intro and liberation for a quick but powerful injection of damage into your rotation. Either way, she works. So, how about team building? Yuno slots nicely into multiple comps. Augusta and Gion teams benefit massively from her outro skill, which provides 50% heavy attack damage amplification. That's huge for Gion in particular and makes the Augusta Gion Unicore a serious contender. Then there's Zani, who thrives with Yuno, replacing the usual Spectral Rover or Shorekeeper in the Zani Phoebe setup. Thanks to Phoebe's always on buff, Zani can stack Yuno's outro buff with Phoebe's frazzle amplification, creating one of the nastiest 1-2 punches we've seen so far. If you miss out on limited units and need alternatives, Yuno pairs surprisingly well with the Jianshin, who brings extra liberation amplification. The downside is that Jianshin struggles with energy regen, but slap a Mercado Gauntlet on and it's patched up. This duo is excellent for tougher content since you also get tons of healing layered on top. On the weapon side, Yuno obviously wants her signature 5-star, but if you can't swing that, Verity's Handle is a great first pick for its crit rate substat and liberation bonus. Blazing Justice comes second for its crit damage synergy, followed by Tragic Comedy, though its heavy attack focus is a bit wasted on her. Abyss Surge lags behind, but it's usable. If your weapon's starved, the Battle Pass options like Stonard or Ether Strike will do the job, but keep in mind, they're locked behind a paywall. For Echoes, 3-piece Crown of Valor with 2-piece Shera Gale is the go-to. Focus on liberation damage and crit substats, but be careful not to pre-level your Lady of the Sea Echo if you're planning on pulling her signature weapon, since both provide crit stats and you don't want to end up with awkward overlaps. Attack percentage, 1 cost, and arrow bonuses on the 3 costs round out her set nicely. Finally, let's rapid fire her sequences. Sequence 1 increases her attack stats and resistance to interruption. Sequence 2 buffs Augusta even more after she stacks up 10 blessings of the One Light. Sequence 3 is a quality of life improvement with a 65% damage buff. Sequence 4 provides a team-wide 30-second shield for those who can't dodge attacks. Sequence 5 buffs her liberation damage. Finally, Sequence 6 is a flat-out nuke booster to her heavy attack multiplier, which is basically a cosmic reset button. Now, the big question, should you pull Yuno? If you're free to play or a low spender and your only goal is to make Augusta or Zani stronger, the answer is probably no. Augusta already clears tower content effortlessly, and Zani plus Phoebe is a self-sufficient duo without Yuno. Your resources might be better spent on weapons like Augusta's or Zani's rerun weapon, but if you're looking for a future-proof unit who scales well, Yuno is a solid bet. Her shield refresh synergy may sound restrictive right now, but it's almost guaranteed that future characters will take advantage of it. Kuro isn't going to waste an entire passive design on just 1 or 2 characters forever. So yes, Yuno is absolutely worth considering. She's flexible, she's powerful, and she's only going to get better as more shield refreshers get added to the game. Whether you make her your carry or your buffer, she delivers value across the board. And if you need more Lunites or Asteroids to get her, go check out my link in the description for my additional 10% discount with Loot Bar and save on your next top-up. Also, check out my new channel, Vector Wuwa, for more discussions about Wuthering Waves. Link is also in the description. If this video resonated with you, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and slap that notification bell so you don't miss future video drops. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.